Ah! Oh, what's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big John and G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Yo, whoa, 1980 called. And they said, you got to play this freaking game. Oh, what's up, everyone? I am so excited to play this game. I have only waited about 40 years to play this game. In a sense, because from my sister Liz. Thank you, sweetheart. It was a grail game of mine from the old days. Pardon the creaking chair. But yeah, she knew this was a grail game of mine from the old days. So she and my nephew and his wife got together and they decided to hunt this down and get it for me. This is not part of the game. This isn't part of the game. I just put these out because they kind of look cool and kind of for setting and theme and feel. How about this? Is this a little bit of a better angle? Is that a little bit better of an angle, you think? I think so. All right, so I am learning this game along with you. So please bear with me. This is a classic board game by TSR, the makers of Dungeons and Dragons, publishers of Gangbusters, Star Frontiers, Gamma World, Boot Hill, Metamorphosis Alpha, Divine Right. So many awesome classic tabletop adventures from 40 years ago and longer. So in this game, you are a newly knighted individual. I almost said a newly knighted knight. And the goal, we're going to be playing through the basic version of this game. The goal of the basic is that you want to now become a knight of Camelot. You want to gain the favor of King Arthur himself. Camelot right down here in southern Logris, I'm probably mispronouncing this, southern Logris area of Britain. We're going to some of these things like this. I mean, I guess I should shuffle up, but they weren't in any real order to begin with out of the box in the bag that they came in. But I'm going to give this a little bit of shuffle on screen anyway, so to randomize it and that you can see that it was done. The ladies I will too, but I'm not necessarily going to do that to the kings. If I have to draw a king randomly, I will, but otherwise, a lot of the cases, it seems that the kings are going to be specific to which castle you go to, unless you happen to meet a random one on the road. And in that case, I'll shuffle this up. So you have to pick a color for your player. I picked purple, so if I understand things right, that would be one of my identification chits. So if something happens that I need to know that there's like an adventure or something somewhere, like that I find out there's an adventure in North Wales, I can put that down. Now, I'm playing this as a solo game. This wasn't made as a solo game, though it can be played as a solo game. So I'm not exactly sure how important using these are. I guess if I get multiple at once, I can throw them down so I remember where they are. But as far as whose adventure, whose quest it is, it's really unimportant, the color and the letter at this particular point in this game. So this game revolves around its roots. And its roots are definitely old school style tabletop wargaming in the sense that everything uses tables and charts and more tables and more charts in order to randomize things to such a degree that almost every single game you play is going to be wickedly different. It has a lot of the charts conveniently here along the side. Plus there's this sheet, double-sided sheet of charts. And I'm going to be having the rule book out, of course. I'm going to be going through this a lot, I imagine. It has a very good table of contents. Also, for any of you D&D game heads out there, you'll notice that this uses the same exact font. I love it. It uses the same exact font and even the editing style of the Moldvay basic D&D. Yeah, that's very cool. And it has a really good index too. So between the index, the table of contents, and this sheet of some of the results that Charcy encounters, resolutions, things like that, I'm hoping that there's not going to be a lot of time wasted on going back and forth between the rules. So I'm just about finished putting the last couple of touches here on my knight. So please meet Sir Gallandor. Sir Gallandor. So the last thing I got to double check, because just like old style D&D, this isn't really put together all that well, and you have to go back and forth and search for different areas to find the information that you need. And one of the things that was taking me a long time to find when I was looking through this, and now I know where it is. It's over here. It's over here for how to win. Right, in the basic game of Knights of Camelot, players begin as young knight-errants, skilled but untried, anxious to increase their mastery at arms and to prove their worth as knights, so that they finally may become one of Arthur's selected Knights of the Round Table. So that's what we're doing here for the basic game. And to start, this is very important. To start, I couldn't find this anywhere at first. Players begin the game as a common knight with 50, here we go, 50 chivalry points and 5 virtue points. Furthermore, the beginning knight has a wound level of 5, which is your chivalry points divided by 5. I'm sorry, divided by 10. Sorry, I don't know how long we were kicked off there for. But anyway, I was just saying that starting in how to win has the information on starting information for your chivalry points, which is 50, your virtue points, which you're starting at 5. Now, to find your wound level, it's going to be your chivalry points divided by 10, which means your normal wound level for start is going to be 5. We don't have any poison yet, thank goodness, so we don't need to keep track of that. And our wound points have not changed, so current is still going to be left blank. But we need to figure out our virtue level to start with. So the starting characters having a 50 chivalry points and 5 virtue points is going to equal a virtue level of 10, because that is divided between your chivalry points and your virtual points, and any fractions there will be rounded up. So my virtue level is 10. The lower the virtue level, the better. And I think in order to become, of course, I'll be double checking this during the game if I get that far, but I think in order to be a Knight of Camelot and to gain Arthur's favor, you need a score in your virtual level. Virtual? I said virtual. Your virtue level can be no higher than 5. I know your chivalry points cannot go any higher than 300, I believe I read. Before seeking the court of Arthur, a player must gain, through adventure, a total of 100 or more chivalry points and reduce his or her virtue level to 5 or less. All right, so that's what we're doing. Also, we start the game. This is something else that now I can't remember where I found it now. But yeah, I had to hunt for this also. But yes, you do start the game, as I really believed you probably did, since you are a knight. You start with a lance, a sword, a shield, and a horse. You can only carry 1 on you. However, if you get a dwarf, then he can carry 1 extra piece of equipment per equipment for you. So he can carry 1 extra lance, 1 extra sword, 1 extra shield, and 1 extra horse. So I believe that is now, one last thing I have to do, and that's I got to figure out where I'm starting from. Where I am starting from. Let's see. Also, I needed one more thing here. Okay. I don't really particularly like to use all the chits if I don't have to. So I'm going to be, while I am a young knight errant, I'm just going to be using this D&D figure to represent Sir Gallandor. So we have to figure out where Sir Gallandor is starting from. What's his home kingdom? What is... I got a lot of minis here. What is his... who is his lord? Now, to figure that out, we go here, you see Lord Service. So I believe this is where we have to roll at the beginning of the game. A player knight, that's what PK stands for. Beginning of the game, a player knight will randomly determine a homeland and his lord. This lord is a king or knight who will always be friendly, whether encountered in his castle or on the board, as long as the player knight remains in his service. Therefore, no king reaction roll is required when meeting one's lord. Also, the lord's castle will always be friendly to the player knight, and no castle reaction is required when visiting that castle. A player knight's lord will grant a player in his service as would for any other knight. However, only a player's lord may grant a player knight a castle. I want a castle. The lord is considered to be in his castle if he is not out on the board. All right, so now what we are going to do is we are going to roll 2 6-sided dice and add them together. But we're also going to roll this tiny guy. This is the odd die, they call him. The reason we're rolling him is in case it comes up a 6, an 8, or a 12, these dice come up a 6, 8, or 12, we will consult the odd die. Otherwise, the odd die is not needed. And I did. I got a 6. So the high die is consulted. And you know, if you roll a 6, it is either high 6 or low 6. So this is high 6. So that means my king is Uranus and my homeland is Gore. I believe that's right about here under the book in the map. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look. This is where I'm going to be starting from then for Sir Galenor. Gore. I'm going to be starting at Gore. Which castle? This is Uranus. That's the king. So Gore. This doesn't say which castle. I'll start over here at Sir Hort. Sir Hort. So now let's take a look here. Who's King of Ireland, Benwick, North Wales, Scotland, Wales, Gaul. Because the Gaulish king is being reluctant. Cornwall, Strangor. Oh, Strangor. There is only the one castle here. I got it. See, I almost didn't even see that. There's Arthur and Logris. And here he is. Here's the king that I am in service to. King Uranus of Gore. So he is considered in the castle unless he's encountered outside. So that's where I'm going to be starting from. Woohoo! Now, then that's it for the setup. So we know where we are. Let me make a note of that. So my home kingdom is Gore. And the king, Uranus. Probably saying that wrong, aren't I? Okay, got that over there on the side, handy. It's not like I got to refer to it a lot, you know. It's not like there's stats or anything like a D&D sheet. But then, so that's it. So now let's get into the basic turn sequence. So during the course of the game, during your turn sequence, you're going to start with things that you're able to do, such as movement. Now, in this case, I am starting with a horse. So that's going to give me a movement of 3 areas because I'm on a horse. Horseback, 1 rider, 3 areas. And areas are determined by definition lines. Such as crossing a river. I believe that's 2 spaces in Gore that I would have to move. But just to make sure, since this is my first game, I will consult page 7 for movement. And let's see. Movement is from one encounter area to another. An encounter area is defined as a countryside or terrain feature as noted by kingdom borders and rivers, a town, a castle, a port, or shrine. Sea or adventure site. Well, sea is for the advanced. We're not going to be handling the sea right now, sea adventures. So in the basic game, only knights in a countryside or a player knight moving into a countryside need to check for possible encounters. All right, so yes. So it is defined as a countryside or terrain feature as noted by kingdom borders and rivers. So we do have a river here. So for me to move off this space, well, I'm in the castle anyway. So I have to move from the castle to the area. So that'd be 1, 2, crossing the river, and then 3 into the wasteland. Now, that sounds like a place to go for a night. It sounds like a place where there's need of a knight is in the wasteland. So I'm going to move over here to the wasteland with Sir Galenor. And that means I'm going to have to check for encounter. I remember that. Now, I believe that is all tables. Is it not? Okay. Unless a player knight is in the countryside or... Okay, a moving player must check for encounters okay, so already made a mistake. Once per area. Encounters need not be checked for if in a friendly castle, shrine, or an adventuring site, or port or towns in the basic game, nor when moving into one of these areas. Okay, so I'm going to have to check for an encounter. We know this is where I want to get to. So leaving Sir Hort, going into the countryside, I'm going to need to check for an encounter. To check for an encounter, the player rolls 1 die. If the result is 1, 2, 1, 2, or 3, 1, 2, or 3, then an encounter has occurred, and the player must refer to the encounter chart. All right, so 1, 2, or 3, there is an encounter when he leaves the castle. No encounter. So now crossing the river into Gore, 1, 2, or 3, there's an encounter. There's an encounter if he crosses the river. All right, now we get to check the encounter chart, which is here. So we're going to roll 2 dice, and we're going to see what we get. 2, 3, 5. Knights. 3 knights. All right, so we got 3 knights in this area. And we are going to use, I'm just going to put 1 mini down since this is such a small area. But let me put 1 down for a knight here so I have something to look at. I think that's all right. Even better. Okay, so here we go. There is 3 knights in Gore have stopped me. I think. Because now we need to check the knight. I might as well just keep those minis out. Now we can get to check the knight reaction, I believe. But a player knight may continue moving provided that the movement rate permits. There's no encounter, but there is an encounter. So, attack or avoid option. If an encounter occurs, the player knight may choose to either attack or avoid the encounter instead of rolling for the encounter's reaction. Player characters who choose to attack must fight knightly foes chivalrously. If the player knight fails to avoid the encounter when he tries, he may not then choose to attack. All right, so these are knights. So I'm not going to choose to attack. I don't know if they're good knights or bad knights. So I'm going to avoid attacking and go right to their encounter reaction. So again, we're going to roll 2 dice, add the results together, and check the chart. And another 5. Another 5. And that is trick. I took a look at the trick earlier when I was going through the rules, and I don't remember liking it. Is that over here? Trick. I know it's in the book. Tricks, here we go. Oh, man. Okay, so this is again 2 dice. Let's see what tricks these knights are pulling on me. 9. 9. And on tricks, 9 is lose a lance. Okay, there's further explanations inside the book here. So let me go to tricks And that's going to be on page 26. 26. Tricks. Lose a lance. The player knight is tricked into giving away his lance, plus the extra one if applicable. Oh, okay, so I get these dummy knights conned me into giving up my lance because they're going under joust in the name of the king and theirs got broken or something. Oh, so now I have no lance. This is what you do it in pencil, kids. Okay, no lance. No lance for you. With the lance Nazi. No lance! Okay, so the encounter then has been dealt with. If an encounter is not avoided, an encounter reaction must be determined. The encounter reaction will detail how the encounter must be resolved. So I lost my lance. Should have just attacked them. But that's not a knightly thing to do. All right. So after losing my lance to the Mo, Larry, and Curly of knights over here, so there was 3 of them, right? Yeah. Now I can continue my movement. I believe it said. So now into the wastelands. Ooh, the wastelands. I almost feel like that should be like something else, but page 7 and 31. Hold on, it might be something else. 7 wastelands. Wastelands. What does that say about wastelands here on page 7? In the basic game, movement into the impenetrable wastelands is prohibited. Oh. So I did not go to the wastelands. I went to Strangor instead. Strangor. 2. What was that? That was nothing? 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's an encounter. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Low was an encounter. All right, so we have another encounter coming up. So let's consult the encounter chart again. Normal encounter chart. And we got a 4. According to a 4, normal encounter is an animal. It's an animal. Let me see if there's any way to roll to see what kind of animal it is. It'll be on page 18. Page 18. I tell you, the glossary and index are really tight here. Dwarf reactions. Oh, here we go. Animals. Whenever a player knight encounters an animal, the player should roll 2 dice and consult the animal reaction chart. Draw 1 chart random for the animal chart to represent the encountered beast. Okay. Let's see. I want to hold that page. And they have the animal chits over here. And it's castles and dwarves and brigands. Oh, here we go. Animals. All right, I'm just going to blindly pull one out. See what it is. Is that a boar? That is a boar. Focus, non-focus. Oh, anyway, it's a boar. There's a boar in Strangor. Shouldn't that be like an old song? There once was a boar in Strangor. All right, so now the animal reaction chart. Right over here, I have the definitions over here on page 18. So let's see what the animal does. I got 2 animals here with me right now, Mojo and Moxie. 5, 6, 7. Animal reaction on 7 is runs away. Any chance for a chase, or is that exactly it? The animal flees. The player knight may attempt to pursue the animal. To do so, the player must make a successful luck roll. If followed, the animal's reaction is redetermined. You know, the way I see it, I am not. This is not World of Warcraft. I am not out grinding. I don't need to go chase down damn boars. So I'm going to let the boar go. I mean, they do have some pretty good. I mean, it may become a loyal mascot to me. Maybe it's an enchanted lady. Might even give me a message. You know, maybe I should. All right, so now to make a luck, right? You got to make a luck roll for this. So I believe that's one big die and one of the small dice. Let me double check that. Often during the game, the player will be required to make a luck roll when attempting to avoid various encounters and events, or in order to gain or retain items of aid during the game. When to make a luck roll is required to resolve the following situations. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. To make the luck roll, you're going to roll. To make the luck roll, first roll the odd die to determine the luck of the day. The luck of the day roll is made once per turn and should be noted. The second die rolled is to test the luck. Okay, so my luck, I need, whatever this is, I'm going to need that number or higher. Excellent. Excellent. Maybe I'll catch it. Maybe I'll catch that boar. Yes! Oh, that boar barely even moved. Tried to get away. Boom! I reached out, grabbed its back hind legs, holding it up in the air, safe enough away from me that its tusks aren't going to skewer me. I don't know. I've never actually held a boar, nor a pig, but I did catch it. So, going back over here to the animal reaction, where it says it flees, then if I make the successful roll, then I roll the animal's reaction again. So now we're back over the animal reaction chart here, and this time we got a 3. We got a 3 this time, which is at a, oh, I already lost my lance, and now it's attacking my steed. Okay, so this boar has a 6 on the left-hand corner top and a 2. And what that means is that the 6 is the wound level, and the 2 is the attack dice. Oh, boy. All right, I'm going to need a couple of extra dice here. I'm going to my old whiz dice. Break out a couple of 6s. So I'm going to use the whiz dice for me, and I'm going to use the white dice for the boar. 5, 6, 7, 8. And it got 9, which means I take 1. I'm going to take the difference. So I currently have 4, because I've lost 1. From 5 to 4. I'm going to leave these out for me over here, and I'm going to put these over here for the NPCs. That wasn't attacking me. I'm sorry, it was going for my steed. And I do believe that I actually even saw something about that in here too. Combat steeds, mascots. Combat with mascots, but this is not a mascot. It'd be nice if my horse was a mascot, and they can fight for me. But no, so attacks the steed. Attacks the steed on 3. Draw 1 animal, random. The animal attacks the player character's horse if he has one, or else it attacks the player knight. The horse may be slain by combat event, or if the animal inflicts 3 wounds. The player knight may fight for his horse, but the horse does not fight. Should the animal slay the player's mount, it will then attack the player knight. Okay, we got that now. Don't need to draw 1 animal because this is the animal's reaction. So this then is attacking the horse. I'm trying to fight for the horse. So so then that should be the results actually then. What I rolled, that should have been correct. But neither me nor the boar is down, so I do believe that means the combat continues. And I'll even double check that for us, but I do believe it means continues. It's not like it's running away. Combat continues between players until one of the combatants' wound level is reduced to 0. Okay, so his wound level is 6, mine is 4, so battle continues. Am I getting any bonus because I have a sword? I didn't see that. I didn't see anything about sword bonuses in combat. Let me see here. Okay. Yes. Method of combat. So I was on a horse with a sword, which means, okay, so I did roll 2 dice, which I should have rolled, and I had a +1. So actually we tied then. I didn't take any damage. I did not take any damage there because I have a +1. That's the only bonus I have, so we're going to go again. I wish I had my lance. That would have been 3 dice. Whoa, 5 and 4 is 9. +1 is 10. 3 and 1 is 4. 4 and 10 is 6. I killed the boar. I guess I am grinding, kids. Oh, very cool. So I killed the boar. And there's no treasure. There's no like treasure cards or anything that you get. But do I get anything for chivalry or anything? Combat continues. In the event the player character faces more than one opponent, the player character must then choose a new foe to fight. All encounters except knights and kings have set numbers of attack dice. Not seeing anything about gaining chivalry or virtue points for that combat. We'll have to remember I fought one boar then until otherwise I'll keep that aside. And 1 out of the castle, 2 to cross the river to Gore, and then 3 in Strangor. I got attacked by the boar of Strangor. I think this is starting off pretty good. I'm enjoying this game, even though it's a little bit back and forth to the rules, but really the rules, it's not really so much for the rules, it's really going back and forth with the charts. But I'm digging that. All right, so I did my 3 movement. I did my encounters. I have no retainers. That'd be the 3rd step of the player's sequence, is retaining companions. I don't have any, so I don't got to worry about that. I'm not anywhere that I can make a request of a lady or a king or a lord. And then record keeping. And I've been doing that as I've been going along. And Sir Galenor, his records are all up to date. He still has 5 normal wounds. Still 50 chivalry points, 5 virtue points with a virtue level of 10. All right, so I got to get that the virtue points down, and I got to get that chivalry up before King Arthur even takes notice of me. Now, this is where it turns to the next player, but there's no next player. Running this as a 1-player game. So now I still have my horse. The boar did not kill my horse. I lost my lance to those 3 jerk knights. But that sounds like a song too, 3 jerk knight. Wow, I heard it that time. I'm sorry. Oh, thought it sounded something disco. It came out, it sounded something else. Okay, now this is what Camelot is, but it doesn't mean no good to go see Arthur right now, so I haven't made a big enough name for myself. So I'm just going to travel around, maybe to Scotland, definitely around Wales area. Maybe I'll head over to Ireland. Who knows? But I got to see how I can get my points up. So I can move up to 3 on the horse. Every area that I move, I'm going to have to check for an encounter. So I'm in Strangor, where I just defeated the boar of Strangor. And let me see. Castle reaction. I could go to the castle and maybe... no, not yet. I don't want to deal with other people's castles yet. I want to make a name for myself, come back, see if I can get a castle for my king, and then go see Arthur. So I'm going to take, let me see, there's one whole big area. There's no rivers to cross or anything. So I'm going to come over here to Vaughan, London. Oh, there's London, there's Vaughan. I got it. Okay. So coming over here. Now we're in Logres, area of Logres, this is all Arthur's territory all over here. That was 1 move. So now I get to roll a die. If it's 1, 2, or 3, there's an encounter. There's an encounter. So we'll come over here to the encounter chart again. Normal encounters. 4 and 1 is 5. Again, 3 knights. Another 3 jerk knights. I gotta stop saying that. All right, so is this the same 3 jerks? I am not going to initiate a fight, and I will avoid doing a combat encounter to go right to their reaction, which is down here, rolling 2 dice. 11. 11 is Offer to share in his adventures. Ooh. Did I just get some men-at-arms here? Okay, let's see exactly. Knight reactions is gonna be on page 20. So fast to find everything you need in this book. I love it with indexes and tables of contents and are just so well done. I really do. All right, so that was an 11. They offer to share his adventure. The friendly knights are on their way to an adventure. Determined randomly, see adventures, which they offer to share with the player knight. The player knight will receive and not share the normal awards for the adventure. Oh, will receive and not share. So I will get it, but I won't have to share it out to the other three. That's pretty cool. Sir Mo, Sir Larry, Sir Curly. I believe I agree. Okay, so now we're going to have to go to adventures and make a roll and see what the adventure is. Do I see that over here? Oaths, luck rolls. Hey, we don't do I don't think you did adventures in the basic game, but here we go. Adventures. List of adventures. Okay, so we're gonna roll, and I forgot which is supposed to be which, but I don't think it really makes a difference for the roll itself. The big die is going to be first. The second die is going to be second. 4-4. So adventure 4-4 is listed as Avenge Baron. Deploy a castle chit in a randomly determined countryside. Go to it and meet one friendly knight, the wronged baron, outside of the castle, who will assist the player knight in combat if necessary. Defeat 2 other knights for the friendship of the baron, a castle owner, and 18 virtue points, plus the chivalry points equal to the wound level of the knights the player knight defeats. I like this. All right, so they're going to share in this adventure with me. So it's going to be the 4 of us versus these 2 guys. And I'm going to get all the benefits of it. Yeah, I think this might have been my best random roll yet. Okay, so now we're going to have to randomly find a place to put the castle down. I'm going to put this castle down right here. No, it's not in the sea. It's not Avalon. In order to do that, we're going back to the beginning, same way I determined where I was from. So that's rolling these 2, and then if a 6, 8, or 12 comes, consult me die. 5. We don't need the 2 mini die. So we got a 5. So that's going to be in Northumberland. Northumberland up here, number 5. This is where the castle is. All right, so we're going to have to get up to Northumberland to go meet this baron. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, so adventures and prophecies. Avenge Baron. Now, men at arms. Men at arms, page 16. Page 16. Okay. Non-player knights. Men-at-arms who will be assigned to the player as men-at-arms. The knights will stay with the player character until the player character completes 1 adventure, avoids or flees an encounter, goes mad, or is defeated in combat. But only after all combat is over. A player knight's lord will always grant 3 men-at-arms, the maximum number, if the player request is successful in making a request. King Arthur will give 1 to 6 men-at-arms. Don't divide the roll by 2. If the player character's request is granted, a player may not have more than 1 set of men-at-arms in his or her party at one time. A player may not request additional men-at-arms until those are initially acquired are gone. Okay. Okay, so I that was three of them. So I don't have to roll how many because that was already determined by the original encounter. Now I want to double check combat with men at arms. Men at arms, page 16 for combat. Okay. Actually, that's the same thing I just read. Gotta be something else for men at arms here. Let's see. The only listing I have for men at arms is page 16. Combat has men at arms listed. That's 16 as well. Party combat, maybe that's it. 12. 12. Yes, if a player with several men at arms or companion knights engage in combat with other non-player knights, such as a king or his retinue or a player knight with companions, the usual system of combat can take a lot of time and dice rolling. Whenever combat involves only one non-player knight, the fastest system described below is used. All player knights should resolve all of their combat follow priority. First, any opposing player knight fight. Second, undefeated player knights fight. Opposing companions will enter the fray. Oh. Okay, let me see. Using the following priorities. First, any opposing. Okay, there are no opposing player knights. Second, player opposing non-player knights until all players are defeated or until they best all of the opposing non-player knights. When all player knights companions will end. Okay, so not really gang on them. If I have to defeat two guys, if I can't, and then they're going to the time to fight. Not quite as cool as I thought. I thought we were like all just like going gangbusters, but we are knights, chivalry, right? So we have to do things Indian mind for a second. I thought we were going up and we're just going to all be gangbusters. Me and these three knights who will let me accompany them on their quest to Northumberland, and we're going to have to find a random knight. Cadius. Cadius is the Baron, not the King. I mean the Baron. He's the Baron we got to go meet. Okay, well, that was one movement. Now, well, I guess we're all going north now, so these guys are with me. I'll just put them off to the side so I remember. One area here. So that was one. So I can move two areas and then three up to York. But each area, like here, I'm going to have stop in. We have normal encounters here. So I'm going to blindly go in here, pull one of these animal chits out. We're going to find out what it is. It's a dog. It's a dog. Now the animal reaction. Animal reactions. Here we go. Animal reactions. 4 and 1 is 5. Ooh, the dog has a message for me. Oh my God, this game is so cool. All right. Let's see. Animals. Messages. Okay, messages, page 24. Wow, opened up right to it. Page B, and I could roll for the messages right here. I believe that's on this one also. Yeah, right here. So let's see what the message is, and then we'll go look at the explanation. 9 messages. Informed of an adventure. Oh, I'm on one, and I got a dog that. Oh, my son is Sam? Okay, that was bad, I know. All right, informed of that's passerby. Where was the message? Here we go, messages. Number 9. Player knight is told of an adventure, determined randomly, and see adventures. Player character chooses to ignore the message, the adventure. Huh. I think I would much rather find out what the adventure is. After I help this Baron, then I'll go do this. I mean, the tales will be sung of the great Sir Galenor after this. Adventures. Is that only in the book, or do I have a list here? I think that's only in the book. I don't see offhand right here in this sheet. So let's go over here and let's see what the adventure is that this dog tells me about. I guess Timmy's in the well. So I gotta roll big die and a little die. Big die first, little die second. 1.4. Find animal. Randomly deploy an animal. Go to the countryside in which it is placed and find it for 6 virtue points. Determine the animal's reaction normally. Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of animals in Sir Galanor's life. What the hell is this? No idea what the freak that is. And I can't get it in focus. I will say that is a thing. Okay. So the thing, and we'll determine where that is. 4, 7. So I don't need the little die. 7 will be over at... Oh, that's in Logris. Oh, I'm right here. That's where the thing animal is. I don't know. It's not the questing beast. The questing beast is its own shit. Chit. It. C-H-I-T. Well, you know, maybe that's good because I do... Oh, but wait a second. What was the thing about that message, though? I might have to choose between this. I might not be able to go back. Messages. Can't find messages again. And that's funny because it's on page 24. The messages. The player character chooses to ignore the message, the adventure will disappear. But now the adventure for the knights, does that say that's going to disappear also? If so, I'm going to have to say goodbye to the animal, I think. I want to see the knight's reaction here. The friendly knights are on their way to an adventure, which they offer to share with the player knight. The player knight will receive and not share the nominal rewards of the adventure. Okay, it doesn't say it's going to disappear, but let's look at this thematically here for a moment, will we? They invited me to go on their adventure. They're going here. I got a choice for another adventure right here. If I don't take this, it will disappear. They're heading off on this one with or without me. This one is more important, so I'm going to let this one disappear. I am. Yeah. So that was 1 movement here, 2 movement here, and I said I was doing 3 movement. I already spoke with the beast, gave me my message, the dog. So now I'm up in York. I'm up in York, so we're going to have to check for an adventure. Low adventure, high, no encounter. Low, so I got another encounter. All right. Six. That was a crappy way I rolled. 6 brigands. Uh-oh. 1 to 6 brigands we encountered. So we encountered 3. Me and these guys just encountered 3 brigands. I'm only using 1 because there's not a lot of room on the map. I should be using the chits, but I just think these kind of pop a little cooler. Now, the brigands we can, you attack, you avoid, and there's reactions. Brigand's reaction, I don't see anything specific for that because I think it's pretty much just, fight. But that's on page 18, so I'll take a look. 17, and here is page 18. Brigands. Brigands are highwaymen and scoundrels who terrorize travelers and common folk. Only a knight's long lance and sharp sword can stand against the villains and make the countryside safe. If a player knight does not avoid encountered brigands, 1 to 6 brigands will automatically attack the player knight. A brigand has 2 attack dice. If brigands are victorious in combat, they will rob the player knight and his group of all equipment. Yeah, that's why there's no reaction chart. All right, so now the brigands. I have some brigands here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Now let's see. These brigands. Oh, these are pretty hardy brigands. They have a 7 wound level. Wound level 7. An attack of 2, as it said, yes. So these guys aren't going to attack until I can't attack anymore. And the fact that these are brigands, I kind of feel like, you can gang up on them, but that's not the way it works. So again, the whiz dice, the black whiz dice are going to represent my role for Sir Galenor, and the white dice, the white pip dice, are going to be the brigands. So attacking the first brigand, I got a 9, and I have a +1 because I'm attacking with a sword from high ground, so that's a 10 versus the 6, so that's 4 damage. I just did to 1 brigand out of 7. So that's -4. The next attack, 12, because that's +1. I'm on horseback. 7. It's another 5. That's 9. So that killed one of them. Second brigand. There are 3 of them, with 2 left now. 6 and 1. I'm on horseback with the sword is 7. 4, 5, 6. Wow, close. So the second one lost 1 of its 7. Has 6 points left. Coming at it again. 5. 3 + 1 is 9. 4, so that's a -5. Lost 1, so that's a -6. Then I got a 9 + 1. I'm on horseback with a sword is 10. Uh-oh. They got 11. I lost 1. Another attack on the second of 3, who has 1 point left. 3, 2 is 5 + 1 is 6. Got a 4, 2 difference. So that second one is dead. I think Galenor got nicked, but he's kicking some ass. I was like, arse. Not very good this time, though, because that is 10 versus my 6. So I've lost 4, which means I'm down. That last one has me down. So now one of the next knights steps up. Again, we'll use the quiz dice for him, because he's my party. 2 and 5. I didn't say anything about them being on horseback, but they are knights. So, sure. So that 7 becomes an 8. Lost 1. Oh, not good at all. 1, 1 + 1 sword on horseback is 3, 5, 2, -2. 2, 1 is 3 + 1, 4 for being on horseback. 4, they broke even. That's the kind of roll he needed. 6 and 5 is 11, + 1 for sword on horseback is 12. 10, so that's 2. He's down 3, the last one. Of his 7, he has 4 left. 6 and 1 is 7, + 1, 8 for the sword on horseback, minus the 5 is 3. Finishes him off. Ooh, that was rough. Okay, I failed the fight. I have 0 wounds left. Let me see. I'm a little bit further ahead here. Let me go back. They're not knights, so no knight fate. I mean, the guys that attacked us weren't. What's the matter? Page 10. Okay. After a player knight combat has been resolved, after player knight combat has resolved, non-player combat knight takes place. Okay, we did that. If the remaining combatants are all knightly, on all knightly foes, each player rolls 2 dice and adds the total of the roll to the remaining wound level of his party. The side with the higher total is the victor. However, if the foe are non-knightly, the player knights and the player's discretion must continue combat on a one-on-one basis, which we did. The player's knight side is victorious. The player knight is not subject to a knight's fate. If the player knight side is defeated, the player knight is subject to knight's fate. Okay, now let me see. Wound level 357. Wound level. Fine. The number of wounds a knight may sustain before being defeated in battle is called wound level. Wound level is determined by. Okay, we got that. So I need to be healed then, I guess. And I believe that's the end of. That happens at the end of the round, the player's sequence. During the record keeping, I think. Let me see. As an encounter has been resolved, the player knight should record any adjustment to his or her adventure journal which occurred as a result of the encounter. A player knight's current wound level returns to full level, healing all normal damage incurred in that turn's combat. Chivalry points and virtue points are adjusted and should be made to the new virtual level. Now, do I lose any chivalry or virtue points for getting knocked down? 5 and 7 for chivalry. Nothing there on 5. 7 may not exceed 300. And the same thing with virtue. Combat. Awards and penalties. 14. Awards and penalties. That must be it. Awards for encounters which occur while pursuing an adventure are given as normal. While performing the actual adventure, however, the adventure awards will be given instead of the actual normally gained through the encounter, replacing the normal combat awards where applicable. I don't see penalties. The adventure is attempted but not completely successful. A player knight will only gain half of the victory point awards. Well, we're not doing an adventure yet. This was an encounter. This is an encounter. All right, I think this will be a waste of more time for me to continue looking into this. If I find something, I'll make an adjustment when I find it out. So that was tough, but they were taken care of. Now a new turn, so I get my wound level back. That was rough. That was a rough one, actually. Now we're going to cross the river here. So that's a roll for an encounter. And that is low, so it will be an encounter. 8. Peasants. What do the peasants want? What do the peasants? What do the peasants want? Mow me down is what it looks like. Encounters. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Peasants, peasants, peasants. Peasants, knight, dwarf, animal, lady, goodly hermit, king, castle, forest, river, town, sea. Message, enchantment, luck, roll, tricks, passerby, jailer. Okay, so peasants. Let's see a peasants chart. So let's go to normal encounter and find what that is. Maybe peasants would be, no, they're not in the index. Normal encounter is not either. Peasants, peasants, peasants. That's where monsters, mad kings, peasants. Would have been nice, a little like page number or something. Make it a little bit faster. Knights, fate, quests, player interaction, goodly hermits, dwarves, encounter reactions. Encounter reactions. Explanation of animal reaction. I want animals. Peasants. I'm about to re-roll this damn thing. Peasants. Revolting against me or something? Monsters. Peasants. Here we go. Peasants are simply a nuisance encounter, stopping the player knight's movement for that turn. They have no rolled reaction and cannot attack or defend. They merely get in the way while admiring the player knight, telling him or her of their troubles. So in a multiplayer game, that would have been a problem. I said someone else would have got the jump on me, so to speak. So I lose a turn. Next turn, coming into Northumberland with Sir Larry, Sir Curly. I'm going to roll encounter. 8 more peasants. Wow. Well, you know, if brigands are attacking and stealing from the Baron, they must be stealing from everyone else in the land too, I guess. So that ends my turn. I finally get to the castle to meet Baron Cadius. Okay, now when I got here, Avenge Baron. Deploy a castle chit in a randomly determined countryside. Go to it and meet one friendly knight, the wronged Baron, outside of the castle, who will assist the player knight in combat if necessary. Defeat 2 other knights for the friendship of the Baron, a castle, and 18 virtue points plus chivalry points equal to the wound level of the knights defeated. 2 other knights. All right, so 2 of the knights are going to be Belarus and Hebes and Hebs. They are the 2 that and if that fails, Mo, Larry, and Curly, and if that fails, Baron Cadius are going to try to take down. There's a total of 5 of us going against these 2, but it's only one at a time. Now his let's see. There, so that means that they each have a let me see, that's a virtue level of 8 and 7, and that's a chivalry of 40 and 80. We're all on horseback. Defeat 2 of the knights. We're on horseback with swords, so let's do this up. Black dice for me, white for them. Got 6. Now we both sides have a +1, so it's going to cancel each other out. So 6 and 6, we clanked off each other. Again, 6, 4, 10 versus 2. That's 8. What would their points be? What would their points be? Because that's 8. That's a hell of a lot. That's a hell of a lot for a non-player knight. Non-player. There are 2 categories of non-player knights, as represented by the knight cards. 1 common knights and 2 Arthur knights. Common knights all are knights not aligned to Arthur. Arthur knights are more chivalrous and more virtuous than the common knights. That's all it says. Well, how am I going to determine their wound level? Wait. No, that's determinable. That's determinable, right? Okay, so we know their chivalry points. We know their chivalry points. So Hebes has 40, which means Hebes has 4, and the other has 80, has 8. And I did 8 damage. So Belrus is taken out. Belrus, and I believe that also means I should take him out of the game, because that's a named one and he's gone. 2 attacks down, 1 knight down. Here we go again. 4, 2 is 6. 8. So I took 2. I have 3 left. 5 and 1 is 6. 6, 7, 8. 2. And I'm down to 0. So now Sir Mo, again, +1 versus +1 cancels each other out. Sir Mo got a 7 versus a 3, which is a 4 difference. This is exactly how much 40 divided by 10, how much Hibbs has. Hibbs is out. And so that was the two knights. We're taken down. Back over to the adventure. Read exactly what that said. Defeat 2 other knights for the friendship of the Baron. And 18 victory points plus chivalry points equal to the wound level of the knights of the player knight defeated. I believe I get half of that, not all of that. Let me double check. All right, so was I just reading that over here? I was just looking something else up. Combat continues to players until one of the combatant levels reaches 0. The event player gets to face more than one opponent. They have to continue fight to fight to fight. After the player character has been resolved, after the player knight combat has been resolved, non-player knight combat takes place. Got that. And the side with the higher total is victory. However, the foes are non-knightly. These guys were knights. The player character companions at the discretion must continue the combat. If a player knight side is victorious, the player knight is not subject to the knight's fate. That's right, thank goodness. And if the player knight side is defeated, which we weren't. Okay, so the combined chivalry, 40 and 80 is 120. 120. So I'm going to gain 18 virtue points. That's good. That's 23. And my chivalry points are going to go up by 120. plus chivalry points equal to the wound level. Oh, equal to the wound level, so that's 12. So that's 12. Because they had 4 and 8, which is 12. That's 50 to 62. Okay. So that did that. So now I'm friendly. I'm gonna leave that shit there with Baron Caiadus, because that's a friendly castle now. Baron Caiadus. Northumberland. Sweet. Let me see. Okay, so that adventure was successful. There we go. Successful adventure. Now they're gone because they were only, I was helping them on their adventure. Actually, I did all the damn work. Well, most of it anyway. So that leaves me up in Northumberland. So for this next turn, I'm going to take one area movement in here into Scotland. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. First, see if there's an encounter. Low, so that is an encounter. So now these 2, that's 5. That's 5, which means 3 knights again. Oh my God, I can't get away from Larry and Curly. First they steal my lance, then they get me to go on this quest, and now they're following me. Oh, slately. Okay, knight reactions. 617. The knights offer a joust, which may be accepted or declined without penalty to the player knight. I have no lance. I cannot joust. They stole my lance when we first met. Oh, wise guy, eh? So I have to turn this down. They're just mocking me. And then my second move, of course, the Sea to Ireland. There's no sea encounters in the basic game. No encounter in Ireland. What happens if I stay? I forgot. What happens if I stay? I don't have to move. Stationary player need not check for encounters unless the player knight is in a countryside or imprisoned. I'm in a countryside. So I'm just going to chill here in Ireland. It's really nice. It's not rainy today. And we got an encounter of 10. A goodly hermit man. Okay, and here's the chart for the goodly hermit man. Let's... Because I am not attacking, I'm not avoiding. I may not have been saying that with every roll, but it's in my head. I know I have the option. 6 and 1 is 7 again. Lucky number 7, hold service. Lose 1 turn. Oh, so I gotta sit there while the guy's holding the damn service in the woods. All right, there you druid. Oh, okay, thanks for wasting my time. I'm gonna head over to Servage, Castleton. And there is an encounter. 2 and 1 is 3. A mad knight. Oh, a mad knight. Do I have something here for a mad knight? Let's say this guy is mad. He's mad because his horse barely fits on the island. He's so mad about that. Mad knight. I don't think there's a Mad Knights are drawn from the Knight card and always attack. All Mad Knights fight barehanded, but use 2 attack dice due to their madness. If a Mad Knight defeats a player knight in combat, the player knight will automatically be slain. Ooh, that sucks. Okay, so the Mad Knight is Sir Fergus. Sir Fergus is so mad his horse does not fit on that little island, and he's taking it out all on me. All right, so he has no weapons. He's barehanded, but because of his madness, he's still rolling my 2 dice. I am on horseback with a sword, which is why I'm rolling 2 dice. If I had that damn lance, I'd be rolling 3. All right, here we go. Let's check this out. Black whiz dice for me. I suck. I guess he just totally took me by surprise because I think I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Why did I go to that island? Because I rolled a 2. He rolled a 10. There's an 8-point difference, which brings my wound level from 5 to -3. No, this game doesn't go into negatives. But that's the equivalent of it. And as it says right here, as I just read to you, the last sentence starting over here, if a Mad Knight defeats a player knight in combat, the player knight will automatically be slain. Ah! 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 Ugh. Ugh. Sir Galenor lay dead in servage outside of Castletown, slain by the mad Sir Fergus. Wow! Wow, this is literally, I think this is the most sandboxy board game I've ever played. And there are some really good sandbox board games out there. There's Fallen Land, there's Western Legend, to a lesser degree, depending on what kind of expansions you have, Shadows of Brimstone, Pirate Republic, Merchants and Marauders. I mean, there's a lot of great sandboxy style games out there, but this has got my vote for probably the widest open world sandbox kind of game I ever saw. And that's because they use the old school style of charts after charts after charts after charts. And that gives you more options than you can imagine. Well, Sir Galenor, he tried. He tried, and he got surprised by the Mad Knight Fergus. It was a good run. It was. I had so much fun playing this game, and I can't wait to play this again. I think I saw they had this on Tabletop Simulator. I have to let the 20-sided Warriors know about that until the pandemic ends and we can actually go out and see each other again, everyone. But that was it, man. That was Knights of Camelot, the fantasy board game by TSR, all the way back to 1980. You waited 40 years to see this. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, my sis, for getting this to me. This will be played a lot. All right, everyone. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here.